everyone, welcome back to the channel Merely on Time. Thanks so much for taking a moment out of your day to check the channel out. My name is Chris and I unbox and review budget watches, and today I've got two new dress watches to show you from a brand new Canadian, yes, Canadian, fellow Canadian Microbrand company. That company is called Conquer Watch Company. The owner, Kim Rai, sent these watches in for me to review on the channel. And you saw the paid promotion at the beginning of the video. These two watches are prototypes, and so there are going to be some differences between the prototype to the production. There are some things that other people who have handled the watches have let Kim know need to be changed, and he is definitely paying attention to that. And as a result of me doing the review on these watches, he is going to be sending me a production unit of one of the watches that you'll see today, the watch of my choice. So thank you so much, Kim, for this opportunity to do the review. I know I'm a small but growing YouTube channel, and the fact that he has allowed me to have these in is a blessing to me. I certainly feel that it is more helping me than I will be helping him. But nonetheless, he is a great guy. Been talking to him over the course of the last week over the phone, talking about the brand, talking about his vision for the watch. And so it's absolutely amazing and well done. Thank you so much for those of you that have subscribed to the channel. I recently had my 500 subscriber giveaway. As of the filming of this video, I'm up to 545 subscribers. In the giveaway, I sent a watch to Albania and I sent another watch to the Netherlands. So there's literally people all over the world watching this channel, which is amazing to me. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like the content, please do so. Please consider subscribing. But most importantly, comment on the video. Let me know what you think of the watches that you see. I love dialoguing and interacting with people in the comments. And let me know what you think of these watches as we review them today. And so with that, let's turn the camera around and see what Conquer Watches has to offer. So just a quick wristwatch check before we get into the Conquer watches. I am wearing my Seiko 5 SNZG13 automatic field watch. This is the watch I'll be reviewing next on the channel. Absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites now. And these are the Vicis. That is Latin for Conquer, and that's the model of these watches, and you can see that you have your choice of one of two colors. Both are absolutely beautiful. You have this automatic Vici in blue, which has a Miyota 9015 caliber automatic movement, and then you have this white dial, far and away my favorite of the two, which actually won me over as I wasn't sure initially. This is a more affordable quartz watch, which houses the very accurate and reliable Swiss Ronda 515 quartz movement in it. As you can see, both beautiful watches. Both watches have a beautiful applied lion logo at the 12 o'clock, and I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about Kim's vision for the watch. In order to do so, we'll do what I call my up-close and personal look at these watches. The name of the brand Conquer is inspired and meant to inspire those who have conquered things in their lives, and the Conquer line of watches are meant to be visual reminders of what the individual wearer has overcome or conquered. Kim hopes to create a community around the watch and highlight stories of those who have conquered difficult things in their lives, and this is important to him as a person who is directly involved in the Truth and Reconciliation movement here in Canada with respect to Indigenous people. Hence the slogan for the company, let it come, let it be, and let it go. This is based on an ancient Buddhist proverb which means that trauma and trials are always a part of life, so let it come. You cannot avoid them. Let it be, therefore you have to accept them, and let it go. You have to conquer and overcome them. So let's talk about the specifications for each of these watches. Both watches have the same case size, which is a 41mm case. Both have 20mm wide lugs, and so you can easily swap out the bracelet for a leather band or other bracelet of your choice. The lug-to-lug length on both of these watches is 48mm, and the lugs curve down at the end of the lugs of these cases, which really helps to form and fit on the wrist very well. The white dial has a case thickness of 10.8 millimeters, which is a little bit thinner than the blue dial, which has a case thickness of 12.3 millimeters because the white case has the quartz movement and the blue the automatic movement. Both watches have a beautiful domed sapphire crystal covering the dial. The sapphire crystal on the production units will have AR coating on the top side as well as the underside of that crystal. Both are constructed of 316L stainless steel and come with a water-resistant rating of 100 meters. Both watches also have a screwed-down crown that is signed with the lion logo on it. The production models of these watches will also have a size increase of that crown from the 6 millimeter size that you see here to 6.5 millimeters on the production unit. And both watches also have some branding on the fold-over lock on the clasp with the lion logo on it as well. So let's take a closer look at this blue dial version. The bracelet, as you can see, has a mixture of brushing and high polish. You have some brushing on the outer links and a high polish finish on the center link. Now, some have mentioned to Kim that they would prefer an all-brushed bracelet, but for me, being that these are dress watches, the high polish center link is definitely a nice and appropriate touch. Perhaps Kim will provide an option to have an all-brushed bracelet for the final production models, but I think he would do good to stay with the bracelet as it is. The clasp on this is nicely done. It is a milled clasp. And look at the amount of micro adjust that you get on that. Absolutely awesome. On this prototype, the fold-over lock has a bit of an issue with sticking up, and that is, of course, going to be corrected on the production model. The fit and finish of the case is nicely done, as you can see, with a mixture of brushing and high polish finish. The side of the case is nicely brushed, and have a look at the transition here from the case to this fluted bezel, which is absolutely beautiful. The top edge, or I should say the bottom edge of that fluted bezel, is nicely highly polished, and so you have this transition from the brushing to a high polish on that fluted bezel. And on the display case back, you can see that it is also surrounded by this fluted bezel, which is something that I've never seen on another watch before. And the top of the lugs here are nicely brushed as well. And then you can see as the fluted bezel transitions to the case, you have another nicely highly polished ring going around that sapphire crystal. And so I think that the fit and finish of this is absolutely beautiful. You can see that it's brushed there with some nice high polish on the first edge of that fluted bezel. Again, on the other side, absolutely wonderfully done. The dial on both of these watches are the stars of the show. This blue sunburst dial is absolutely amazing. So let's take a closer look at it, work our way from the outside in. Once again, you can see that we have a beautiful piece of domed sapphire crystal covering that dial, and that fluted bezel along with that high polish ring between that fluted bezel leading up to the crystal just gives this watch a really nice shimmer and shine and beautiful presentation. As we look at the rehaut, you can see that there are printed minute markers going around the rehaut with Arabics printed at each of the 5-minute marks. There are batons that are applied on this watch as we move further into the dial, and you can see that there are 4 concentric circles that move around the entire dial that the applied indexes are on. Those applied indexes are filled with BGW9 Lume, and on the production unit of the watch there will be 6 more layers of Lume applied, so what you see on today's Lume shot will be much, much brighter on the production models. The smaller baton at the 3 o'clock makes room for that nice framed date wheel that is white with black Arabics on the inside of that date wheel, and it is framed with some nice high polished metal, as you see on the rest of the applied indexes. You have Conquer printed on the dial above the pinion, and below that beautiful applied index of the lion, automatic 100 meters printed below the pinion and above the 6 o'clock, and you can see just over on either side of that 6 o'clock baton Japan movement, highlighting the Miyota 9015 movement that this watch does utilize. It does have a display case back so that it shows off the movement for you, and this movement is a 28,800 vibrations per minute high beat movement, and so that means that that seconds hand, which you can see sweeping along nicely, sweeps at 8 ticks per second, and so there's a nice beautiful sweep to this automatic watch. Really nicely done. The hour and minute hand, which are fence post style or maybe sword style hands, are also filled with Lume and are really nice and broad and bold. Makes it very legible and very easy to read the time on this watch. Absolutely wonderfully done, greatly designed, really nice job on this. And now the white dial. Guys, the white dial version of this watch is pure elegance. You can see that you still have the same fluted bezel with that nice high polish ring covering the sapphire crystal. And obviously this one is a bit different. It's minimalistic. The rehaut, as you can see on this one, is white, matching the dial, but it only has 5-minute markers in Arabics printed around the dial. It doesn't have all of the minute markers printed on. There is no more branding on the dial of this one, as you can see, with the exception of the Swiss movement that is on either side of the 6 o'clock indice. The indices themselves are straighter. There's no tapering on these ones that you saw on the blue dial. They're nicely bordered just on each side with a high polish metal, and they are raised a little bit, and they are filled with Lume. The simplistic and minimalistic look on this beautiful white cream dial gives it a very elegant look. My wife says that this looks crisp, clean, classic, and would make an amazing dress watch to go along with suits or really anytime you want to dress up. This watch, therefore, is the one that I will be asking for. Fit and finish is the same as the blue dial version. And here is what each of them looks like on my wrist. This obviously is the blue one. And here is the white one, and what a beautiful timepiece indeed. Absolute stunners, both of them. And here's a little detail I forgot to add about the white version of the watch. Obviously, because it's a quartz, it does not have a exhibition case back, but it does have this beautiful case back with the Conquer logo engraved in the middle there. The Lume on these prototype models is lightly applied. As I mentioned, there are going to be 6 more layers, I think is what Kim told me, maybe 8 more layers of Lume applied. You have the automatic on the left and the quartz movement on the right. The only thing that I can say that I would like improved on these watches is for Kim to make sure that the lion is lumed, which it is not. Kim, lume that Conquer lion, baby, please. My thanks goes out once again to Kim from Conquer Watches for sending me these beautiful timepieces in to review. They will be launched on a Kickstarter campaign starting in January. The watches are very reasonably priced. This quartz watch is $199, and the Miyota automatic, the blue dial version, is going to start at $389. Now, for the first 100 backers on the Kickstarter campaign, you are also going to be getting a French Epson leather strap to go with the watch, valued at $65. And so you want to get in early on that if these are watches that interest you, and you're going to get a great deal and you're going to get a great strap to go along with it. And so let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these watches. And once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. And remember, whenever you leave your house, make sure that you have a great looking piece to wear on your wrist like this absolutely stunning Vici Conquer watch. And make sure wherever you're going, you get there on time. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Be sure to check this video out. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you again next time.